Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany Ong. I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and blah blah blah. You know all the stuff if you've been watching me. Basically, I have my own private practice in sports nutrition and weight loss. This is week 3, not week 3. It's like 3 weeks out basically from my upcoming powerlifting meet in November. If you guys watched the week before, I basically had a lot of foodie adventures. Now that we're coming down to more crunch time for the meet, I'm really trying to dial in again. Not that I was that dialed out before, but just because of circumstances of events I already planned and things that came up, there was a lot more miscellaneous food, unexpected things. So I'm very late. Also, a lot happened. So to recap, you guys, today is Thursday. So I basically missed filming this whole week, but I did take some videos of examples of the foods that I eat. I like to have very balanced meals, whatever that means to you, but in my definition, it is having a produce, protein, and carb at each meal. More emphasis on the produce aspect, but also maintaining a lot of lean protein so that I can maintain a lot of muscle mass while in this calorie deficit. I still need to make it to my weight class, which is 60 kg, 132.2 pounds. At the end of the week, I did actually weigh like 134.8, but right after that, so Pedro did get me sick, I think. At first we thought it was allergies, and then it turned into like actually having like a weird throat thing. I'm much better now. I'm still very congested, but during the time that I did feel like really off, it just didn't feel good to have like air flowing through my sinuses. So for me personally, I get very almost snacky and I want to eat more just because it feels soothing to like warmer foods going down my throat. And so it did end up in being a little bump up in weight, but this morning I weighed 135.8, which isn't that far off. Honestly, I feel like I was also very constipated, TMI, just because of everything that we ate. I did have a lot of produce that I didn't typically have, so I think my body was adjusting to that as well. This week, I'm just dialing back into having a lot more seafood, so tippy tip. A lot of whitefish, shellfish are pretty lean in protein and can be great additions to keeping you really full without compromising a lot of calories. I also have been trying to make it a point to walk a lot and definitely reach the 10,000 steps because when I was feeling sick, I just didn't want to move, obviously, and also the airflow through the throat is very uncomfortable. I've even been walking a lot more on my treadmill just because the wind and the cold air outside was very irritating. So, you know, when you're sick, you don't got excuses. I mean, you do have excuses, but there's always ways to work around it is what I'm trying to say. So this week, we're bouncing back. I really am not too worried about the weight. I think like even if I stayed at 135 for a while up until the week of the meet, I can do like a slight water cut or sodium cut for the week to come. But basically my training actually went pretty okay as well. I knew I didn't have like COVID or anything serious. I was also trying to be cautious of like if I should really go, but again, I thought it was allergies the first day, and then when I was feeling better, I decided to go again. most of it happened in my rest time, so that's also why I was like fine with going into the gym. So now I should still be pretty up to par. My strength feels really good. I think the recovery of decreasing volume in my training has helped tremendously, and I'm still feeling pretty strong regardless. I also actually have been feeling very full and satisfied from my meals, so I think my body's adjusting to the calorie deficit as well. Let's see how the rest of this week goes, and hopefully it's all up from here. I am going to be traveling back home for a little bit, so that might throw off my routine a little bit more as well. We'll make it work. A lot of things I like to do too when I'm traveling is bring my own groceries. Like, I'm traveling to my parents' house. If anyone knows how my parents stock the house, and if people have similar situations, like my parents have so many sweets, like loaded pantry of things, like they are ready for the apocalypse. Like, you can never go starving in that house, and it's actually very tempting and was a huge barrier of mine in the past. So one thing that really helps me, that maybe it helps you too, is to bring my own foods that I'm very used to eating, and then have that as my plan, so that I'm not going in there being like, what am I going to eat? Let me just grab whatever, and then it turns out to be this huge feast of stuff that I probably shouldn't be having right now. So that's food for thought, literally. And yeah, we'll see how that goes, and maybe I'll give you a sneak peek of why I'm going to be out there, but we'll see. Well, I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of like things that I bring that's my own food that kind of helps when I'm in not my own place. I will be bringing my own bread. They love like super highly calorically dense bread, so I'll bring that. I also want to stay with a lot of the white fish that I have. There's 3 fish fillets in here. I'll probably bring that. Some ice packs. So this backpack my sister actually gave me for my birthday a little while ago, and it's insulated, which is super convenient, and it's Tiffany blue, so can't go wrong with that. But I like to bring this traveling because it helps keep things very cold. I like to bring my low-fat cream cheese because, like, I don't know if people have very similar parents, because I hear it a lot from my clients actually, but like some of the older generation folks, no shade, they just don't believe in like healthy things or things they presume to be healthy. So I will bring my own cream cheese. I don't want my greens or my avocado to go bad, so I like to bring a lot of produce I know might go bad while I'm gone. Even some of these tomatoes. So mostly like a lot of produce, the fish, the bread, my wraps in case I want to make that. Wow, this is so soft for some reason. Feels like it's been heated. So I'll probably bring my yogurt. Another thing I was going to mention is that I am supposed to get my menstrual cycle, again for the boys, shut your ears off, but I'm supposed to get my menstrual cycle next week, like the week before comp, which is fine because then I can know that I'll stabilize by the time comp comes. But a lot of times for me, I don't know if the other women can relate, but the week before my period is actually the time that I feel the most munchy and snacky, and then when I get my period I'm like so fine, like I don't even care to eat that much because I actually feel like very crampy. So I suspect that's also why my weight's been up a little bit this week, more than I want it to, and also feeling more snacky, like craving a lot of stuff. Honestly, I know that I kind of did it to myself because before I didn't have like any snacks in the house because I just don't keep them here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and put those snacks away. Like, I'll even show you guys. I keep these pretzels on top of this Tupperware for easy to reach, but quite honestly, I should probably put it inside so that, see all this work it takes to get the frickin' snacks in here? That's why I do that, but to save myself some temptation, we'll put that in there. And this is kind of what I tell my clients too. Like, if you know you have something in the house, but you put it in a kind of hard spot, makes you think twice about that impulse. It's a little impulse control. Things like that can help. I'm going to do that for me right now, but
Yeah, and I'll also probably bring some supplements like my creatine and whatnot. But that's about it, and all I pack when I travel, really. It's currently Friday, and I'm at my parents' place. I'm out for my walk, so it's a residential neighborhood in the suburbs versus that road in the city, but still beautiful. Pretty early, pretty cold, not gonna lie. I did want to hop on here and say, when you are weighing yourself in one place versus another, versus one scale versus the other scale, it's very difficult to have some sense of consistency, I would say. So I already knew this because I've already have experience using their scale before. So just out of curiosity, before I left last night, I weighed myself, and then when I got there, I weighed myself on their scale, and it was almost like a pound off. So I did want to put that in there to say to anyone, like, it doesn't matter if you're cutting for like a weight class based sport or if you're just trying to measure your own progress, but it's really important to remember that different scales in different places at different times on different surfaces are going to be a little different. So if you do want to measure your own progress, I would suggest using the same scale, same place, around the same time if you can. It's not a huge deal, but definitely in the morning after you go to the bathroom and stuff. That's basically for consistency. I am a little bit nervous. So last night I also had a shower thought. I've been recently having a lot more spinach, and I always know this, but like I pretend that it's new information every time it happens. Spinach like does not really digest well in my stomach. It's fine. It just makes me, like, again, TMI, a little bit constipated. So I feel like that's been affecting my weight as well. Trying to finish up this cut. The reason why I got it was mainly because I was getting pretty adventurous with my cooking and wanted to make my meals more interesting. So I was like planning to make this like tomato Tuscan spinach pasta and like put it in my meals with the ramen and whatnot, but I didn't even end up making that, and I think it's just causing me more problems. So what helped me a lot a couple weeks ago, go to the bathroom very regularly, and what helped me in the past cut was like sticking to very low GI veggies. They're not the most exciting, but the ones that are good for me are like cucumbers, tomatoes, celery. They're very like neutral. I think I'm gonna resort back to that and just like ditch this bag of spinach and leave it with my parents because I don't think I can do it anymore. And it is stressing me out a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. Like, even on their scale that might be a little off, this morning it said like 137.4, which is almost 2 weeks out, and 5 pounds up. That's not good. So I know it's probably off a little, which also does kind of make me nervous that maybe my scale's not that accurate, but who knows. I think once I get my bowel movements going and keep up with these walks and see what happens on my period next week, it might level out and stabilize itself. So I'm still staying pretty positive, but that's the thing about cutting. Like, if it wasn't for the sport, I probably wouldn't be so obsessed with the scale. Like, I perfectly am content with how I look and whatnot and how I feel. But it is a stressor that happens to a lot of people in these kinds of sports. Yes, you can just compete at the weight you're at, but on a certain competitive level, if you want to sit in a certain class for certain achievements, such as going to nationals or like even doing well there, then obviously you have to compete at certain numbers. Maybe in the future I'll go up a weight class if that's natural for my body, but at this point in time, it's not where my head's at, so I'll probably be here for a while. I'm about to go to the gym. Got some heavy squat singles today. So the reason why I came back here is because by my parents' place there's this local t-shirt printer. His name's the T-Shirt Guy, so shout out to him. But I got some new shirts for y'all. Since you guys watch these videos, you'll get the inside scoop, but this is the new look. So on the front is the logo this time. I don't know if you can see it. but same kind of color. And on the back, I designed this new avocado print. So this is all me hand drawing, by the way, on the computer. I drew a new avocado and these broccoli heads. They all have like different expressions. And this is supposed to be a play on the broccoli heads in the gym. That trend is going around right now. So if you're a broccoli head influencer, this one's for you. And hopefully you guys enjoy them. I can't wait to see your reactions at these tabling events. I have one coming up in a couple weeks after my meet. These links will be in my website to promote if you want to buy it there. Otherwise, catch me at my tables, and I'll see you guys at the gym. Get your self-care, kids. Look at these trees. Good morning. We're on a walk. I will update my weight. This morning I was 136.5, sadly. But we will make it somehow. I will eat more diligently. But we are at this like really nice park by our house, and there's actually a surprising amount of people here compared to yesterday. I don't know if you can see in there. Okay, bye! What happened to this little guy? Look at these berries. What you find on walks. Look at all these decorations. Made myself a peanut butter banana crepe for part of my lunch. I didn't have any bread, that's why I did it. It's nice, bright and early on Saturday. I'm on my walk back on my stomping grounds. This morning I woke up at 135.2. So that's what I mean, like I feel like the scales in different places are definitely subject to be off a little. Granted, I also was a little more conscious of what I was having through the day, and I went to the bathroom, so that's a plus. Today I'm gonna meet my friend Chrissy and Pedro at Impact Zone to deadlift. I have pause deads. That'll be fun. It's the day before Halloween. I'm not gonna lie, I've been super tempted to get a bag of candy for Halloween because I want to go trick-or-treating so bad, but I'm too old for that, obviously. When I was in BJ's yesterday, I saw so many bags of candy that had the assortments, but you know, that's how they get you, because that stuff's around all the time. That's the mindset with cravings and binging, I guess, that tends to happen a lot, is feeling of scarcity, that there's not going to be a next time, but there's almost always usually going to be a next time, so, or a time that you can make it happen. Tiffy tip of the morning.
so empty in this little room. I don't know how to pose.
Alright, we're here with Chrissy. She's a cheerleader.
And I'm Chrissy from Do the Things.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put that song in the background of my reel.
I don't think I know what that song is.
You definitely do.
I probably do. I'm just out of this, but she's
Because
killing
you were
it.
benching super heavy today.
Not bad. But you did a SPD?
Yes.
And I had pause decks, some benches. We hate 3 count pause. Yeah, benches so long. She's
4-second
doing
eccentric deadlifts.
it's more like 10 seconds. So you're literally
I'm like,
exercising.
one Mississippi.
Yeah, but fun always being around you. Yeah. And we're competing together
Yes.
at Gobbler, so.
And we're also going to be rooming together the night before.
Yeah, we gotta find a place near here, hopefully.
And then I'm gonna do Tiffany's hair.
She is. So,
I'm so excited.
catch us at the meet.
Come see us.
Bye. We're at the sushi place. Look at this red snapper bento box. This beef bento box. And Chrissy's with us with
Chicken teriyaki.
bento box. Yum.